Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica from Liondesk. I'm in the marketing team. I have here Harley Cooper with me today. Hi, Harley. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Jessica.
We are excited to have you. If you guys know, we have had this show going on for a while where we bring on guests, not just Liondesk users, but industry professionals discussing stuff on how to make you guys better as a real estate agent. So as there's a slight delay here, we're going to wait for you guys to join on. I want to just introduce Harley. He's been with us pretty much since day one, since the day that David decided to create Liondesk. And he said that he started kind of in 2015, but really headed on in 2016 and is still with us. So Harley, let us know what made you check out Liondesk back in 2015 and is still keeping you here with us. And also a little bit more about you, because I know you're based out of Canada. You're with Sutton Group based out of Canada. So let us know more about you.
Yeah, Jessica, thank you for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity. I've been a real estate agent for about 10 years, and I'm now with Sutton Group in Barrie, Ontario, which is, for any of the non-Canadian viewers here, it's about 45 minutes north of Toronto. Yeah, so I've been doing it for about 10 years. And to answer your question, the reason that I'm using Liondesk today is it's a pretty simple one. It was a colleague in my office at the time that referred this to me, and he's a super smart guy and a top producer, not only from within the office but within the whole city here. So it was based on his recommendation, and I had been working in another city when I started with another one of the big names in the CRM space, and I was looking for a lot of the features that one had. I had switched over to another one that didn't have a lot of the automation. Automated text messages was a huge part, and the campaigns, the drip campaigns, were two of the major things that I was trying to find a CRM that was able to handle those, and that's really why I switched over to Liondesk.
Nice. And so before we dive in, you guys, today's topic is 3 tips to help you become a more successful real estate agent. And Harley's going to dive into these 3 topics. We'll go over them, how they can help you if they integrate with Liondesk and how he uses it, currently in his business, as he's a real estate agent, as well as how he does it to communicate with his database. So before we do that, I have a couple questions for him. I know that I tend to ask these questions for other agents, and it's, what is your favorite feature in Liondesk? How do you use it in your current business right now?
Okay, well, if you're gonna jump to my favorite feature, this is not, I don't think, a super exciting part of Liondesk, but it is hands down the tasks feature. And again, it's probably not a really exciting one, but on a daily basis, for example, I looked before we started, I looked this morning, and I have 50 tasks set for the day. So that's about 3 to 4 hours of work that I do every day, and having the tasks there keeps me on point, because there's no way that I can remember 50 tasks for the day, and that's really what keeps my business moving. Setting appointments, making phone calls with new leads, with prospects, and with past clients. So there's really no way that I could work without having that on a daily basis.
Nice. And then referrals. I know as a real estate agent, referrals are key to grow your business. One, referrals are free. You're not putting a lot of time and work into them. It's just you being an amazing agent and people speaking about you word of mouth. So what's more important to you? Marketing your current sphere of contacts, or getting those referrals? And how do you do it?
Yeah, well, not to spend a ton of time here, Jessica, but on the actual breakdown of, and again, this is where campaigns are going to be super important to my into my business, whether it's past or new business. And to answer that question, what I think is more important, it's really, I looked this morning and I've got 11 ends that I've touched this year, and 5 of those ends are new business. 6 of those ends are past and referral. So it's almost a 50-50 split on new business and past business. So 45% of those being new business and the 55% being referral based business. And how do I generate referral business? I use largely the campaigns, and I'm a big fan of the Red Book. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's Gary Keller's Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and a lot of the stuff you can find online, build your own. But using a 33 touch system and building that into the campaigns, I use things like Christmas cards, birthday cards, monthly newsletter, and a whole bunch more. There's video that goes out in emails, automated text messages, but the 33 touches per year approximately on past clients. I also want to mention here referrals, that 3 of those 11 ends from this year were referred to other agents in other areas. And I think that that's something that is worth noting, because it's probably some of my favorite business that we can do in real estate, because you really just make a connection with somebody. And I make sure that the referral database that I have for agents around Ontario, in Canada primarily, funny that you mentioned Alberta, because we don't do any business personally there, but to have those referrals touching base on a quarterly basis and having the reminders to do that all those agents know that we're here to serve them, and that we will be sending our referral business to them as well.
Nice. And you guys, so today's topic is 3 tips to help you become a more successful agent. And now that we've learned a little bit more from Harley and learned how he does his business, what features work for him, what campaigns that he has in place, I'm going to pass it on over to him, and you will get to learn these 3 tips, 3 easy tips that you guys can take advantage of this year. So thank you, Harley. I'm going to let you take over and share those 3 tips with our users. Also, you guys, before we head on towards the end, if you have any questions, any tips, share them with us, because I will make sure that we discuss them towards the end of the live show.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, cool. So I've got my 3 tips here. They're really simple. I think maybe the theme of this is simplicity, but consistency. Just like everything in life, if you're consistent, I think you can see some results. So my first tip is to build or thatch your database. This year, we went from almost 700 contacts in our Liondesk, and I say we because this year I've got an assistant who she also has her own Liondesk account, but also helps me inside mine. And we went from about 700 to 560, so we're down about 140, and those are just going through and taking out anybody that we haven't touched base with. We're trying to verify phone numbers, emails, and if those aren't in there, then they're really, in my opinion, kind of useless to have in there. Systematically qualifying new leads. Everything that I see inside Liondesk lends itself to a system, and qualifying leads based on primarily phone calls and some text messages that go behind that. So not to get too into it, but my system is to call in Liondesk. I've got an automated text message that goes behind. So when I log in the morning, I can see you have to call these people. And if I don't get in to make those phone calls, it automatically will send a text message. So even if I'm not there to do my daily calls, I have to physically check off that I've done the phone call, and that will stop my text message from going out. But there are definitely times, I've got 3 kids. So there's definitely times where I don't get to the afternoon phone calls, but I'll be, say, making dinner, and I get a text message response from somebody, which will then prompt me to adjust and set a next task. One of my golden rules, I guess, is if you touch somebody inside the database, make sure that they have a next task set, so that you're always following up. And my third tip is to systematically follow up with the qualified leads. So moving people through the pipeline is huge in what I'm doing. It's getting the leads, systematically trying to qualify those a couple times a day for a week, and whatever that may be for you. I think if you want to call your leads right away or call them the next day, whatever works. And then once you've got somebody, moving them to the next step of qualifying. And typically I work with my mortgage broker on that part to make sure that these leads are qualified. So in the age of doing everything, face to face as we are right now on the computer, it's easy to get an appointment set with somebody to say, hey, let's take a look at the market. Let's see what you're looking for. And then part of that conversation is, where are you in the financing part of this? And then I'll set them up with my mortgage broker, or if they've got a mortgage broker, then I'll ask them for that information, talk to them. Now they're financially qualified. And then those people are going to be in different time frames, maybe buying in 3 months, 6 months, a year plus. And based on that, we've got campaigns that are set for buyer drips. And again, those are a lot of automated text messages. Hey, how's it going? Emails with video and reminders for me to make sure that I'm calling those people, which I think is one of the most important things, to get people on the phone so you can gauge what task needs to be set for them next. That's about it for my 3 tips.
Now, we do have here a couple questions. And Harley, one was, do you use V1 or V2? Let me bring that.
I think that's maybe a burning question for a lot of people. I am this year committed into using V2. And the reason that I decided to go down that road is kind of 2-part. One, I brought on an assistant at the end of last year, and we both decided that learning V2 for her would be better than trying to learn V1 and then ultimately moving her into V2. The second part of that answer is because I've been with Liondesk for a relatively long period of time. Version 1 was not version 1 as it is today when I started. And something that I noticed with the company is that voicing and using, there wasn't the ideas page at the time, but voicing what I thought would be beneficial in version 1, ultimately, not just because of me, obviously, but ultimately ended up rolling out in version 1 and version 2, seeing it in beta and seeing where it is today. I feel confident that all the perks that are there in V2, and as things smooth out and you can see all the updates that Liondesk is doing posted, that's why I've decided to work with version 2 this year.
There is another question. What is V1 or V2? So Jamie or Jaime, V1 is the version 1 of Liondesk. This is the version that everyone that started with Liondesk back in 2015 had access to. This is the original version. V2 we brought out in 2019. And V2 is the newest version, the bulked up version that allows you now to do, Facebook ads. It allows you to have more storage for video texting. It gives you more access to these shared drip campaigns. It allows you to also do connections with Facebook for your Facebook audience. So it's bulked up a little bit. It is a newer version of Liondesk. So we always say V2 versus V1. Because we have a lot of users still with us that have been with us since the beginning and always knew V1. So that is what you're seeing. That is the difference between those two. Second question that I also have here is when you were talking about qualifying leads, it says, do you use Lead Assist, Liondesk AI technology to qualify your leads? So for those that don't know, we have a AI tech that does all the qualifying for you guys. It's pretty much like your virtual assistant. So if you don't have an assistant like Harley, you are able to use Gabby. We all call her Gabby. And she actually qualifies the leads as they come in. If they're coming in from Facebook, if they're new leads from an open house, she does that for you and has real conversations. But to answer the question, Harley, have you used AI Gabby?
I don't use Gabby. And I think the technology is amazing. I know that I talk to AI all the time, and I think it's fun, but I think I can recognize it. I think as long as you recognize it, using that as a powerful tool, in that pipeline step to get you into conversation with your leads. I think that's, not using it. That is what I'm trying to do, is constantly get the opportunity to get on the phone. So if Gabby's having a conversation with somebody where you pick up in the text and try to convert that into a phone call, that ultimately allows you to try to qualify further.
Yeah, I know that some users use it differently. Some people have it connected to their Facebook ads, and then any new leads that go into Liondesk, Gabby's qualifying it for them while they're dealing with other stuff. I know people that use it for like open houses. There's a lot of different ways, but yeah, AI technology is the newest tech in today's world that pretty much is your assistant. It's cheaper than an assistant, but nothing beats having a real assistant. So there is another question that came up is, do you do any video texting?
Yeah, I do some, but not as much as email, because just for the people watching, this is pretty funny, but I've got I got a pair of jeans on here right now, right? And I put a shirt and tie on so that I looked more professional for this. The point being that on my day-to-day, and partly because there's roasting here in my office, but on my day-to-day, if I'm going out on appointments, I'll definitely wear a suit and tie. When I'm answering people, that's typically when I would be doing the video texting. I prefer to be in a professional setting where I'm not just throwing up a video on my cell phone, a 20-second video where I might be rocking a t-shirt and jeans, or a t-shirt and shorts. But that's just the way I've done it for a long time, is suit and tie.
Nice. Yeah, there's of course everyone different. Here in Cali, we have agents that are at the beach, they're at a soccer game, showing doing day-to-day stuff as being an agent. Then we have the ones, we have like Mike Banks, he's one of our ambassadors. He's more, professional, just like you guys are suit and tie. You have a certain look you like to present it all the time. So everyone's different. So you guys can always try it. The cool thing about video texting is it gives you 98% open rate, but nowadays email and text are the way to go. Yes, cold calling works, but a lot of people like to see you, hear you, hear from you. So try that out. Liondesk allows you to have the video embedded in your text. So that's the cool thing about it. It's not like a link. I'm a person that doesn't click links on my video on my phone. If I'm getting a link, I'm not touching it because I don't know if it's linked to any spam. So the cool thing about it is it can play right then and there. But these 3 tips were great. I'm going to go ahead really quick and share them really quick. So the tip 1 that we dove into was thatch your database. He dove into that, showing how you need to make sure that you're building your database, growing that up so that you guys can grow your business. Tip 2 was systematically qualifying your new leads. If you're not using AI assistant, just make sure that you're qualifying those leads and tagging them properly so that you know how to communicate with them. And then tip 3, he dove into is systematically follow up with a qualified lead until they are ready to sell or buy. Because remember, it takes 32, right? You do about 32 touches, right?
Yeah, it's the 33, 32, 33, whatever that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the magic number. We know it's not the first, it's going to take a while. They need to be able to build the trust with you, know how you are, how you do business, and don't just decide to just quit right then and there. Once you get to the 33, you guys will see those magic numbers come in, and always qualify them and always follow up. Because remember, if someone isn't following up with them and it's not you, you best bet it's your competitor or somebody else. And
Jessica, sorry to cut you off there. I would just on that note, I did have this written. I wanted to share that example. Wow. We just over the weekend, we sold just shy of $1 million a house to a client and sold their house maybe 2 weeks ago. That person was entered into my Liondesk in September 2017.
Wow. See, guys, it happens all the time. I had an agent a couple shows ago that was telling me that we have I don't know if you've used it, Harley, but it's the toggle that we have inside our contacts for filters, that it's like the contact slipping away. I don't know if you've tried that one, but you turn it on and it will actually tell you people you have not spoken to or followed up with. And this agent actually got like $1 million sale off of somebody that he entered years ago, hadn't spoken to in forever. And if it wasn't for him trying that out, He reached out saying, hey, you know, I'm not sure if you want to buy or sell. The person was actually looking to sell, and he got the sale. And he goes, if it wasn't for that toggle just to test it out, I would have never reached out to this person. So it's always good to follow up, because a lot of times you don't know when they're ready, and you want to be the one that asks, not somebody else. So that's good that you shared that. Let's see. We have one more question. I don't know if you have time for one more question, Harley. It looks like it's from Jaime. It says, you mentioned campaigns. Where can I find the best videos or assistance for setting up or using templates? So I don't know if you have to answer this, but I can answer this, Harley, is we have a trainings page. It's liondesk.com/trainings. There you have access to all sorts of training options. You have how-to videos. You have, we have our weekly, Thursday live Q&A. Have you joined those by any chance, Harley?
I have, yeah.
And are they helpful? Have you learned something, or were you able to get something answered right then and there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, because it's our Liondesk expert, it's Steven. He is on every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are based out of California, so it's always Pacific Standard, and he's live. So you can ask questions, and he's answering them right then and there. And then there's also where you can do any type of onboarding. So we have like an all concierge service that can do it all for you. So again, check it out, liondesk.com/trainings. And then YouTube, our YouTube page, you guys, I don't know if you've been on there or you, Harley, but there's a lot of tips in there, tricks, other users sharing how they use Liondesk, and then also giving you step-by-step how-tos. So those are some of the stuff that you can check out. And then in our templates, check out our shared campaigns. Our shared campaigns has thousands and thousands of templates and campaigns that you can download and tweak to your, personalize them to you. So those are some that, some tips that you guys can check out. Oh, you're welcome, Jaime. He was just saying thank you. So you guys, if you have any other questions, let us know. Again, Harley, thank you for sharing those 3 tips. Those are 3 great tips that agents should be, taking advantage of, because they're simple. There's 3 things that you can do on your time. Like, how long does this take you, weekly, daily, to just take those 3 down every time?
To go through those, sorry.
Yeah, no, how long does it take you? Is it like 15, 20 minutes of your time to make sure those 3 things are being handled weekly?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's probably like I'm in my line just probably at a minimum 2 hours a day.
Yeah, that's it. Do you do the mobile app by any chance?
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably the biggest for texting. I do have a custom number with Liondesk, which for the automated text messages, I think is a must, but that's primarily what it is. So if I'm out at Costco or something and I get a text message from one of my automated, I'll reply right away and just try to set up a time to get them on the phone. Nice.
Yeah, a lot of people use it when they're out and about, when they're not in the office. They even have their assistants linked up to it, so that way they can answer any questions right then and there. So yeah, those are 3 great tips. I really appreciate your time, Harley. I know as a real estate agent, you guys are really busy and you guys are always on the go. So I appreciate your time with us. And we'll hope you guys all enjoyed today's topic.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, Jessica. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Bye, guys. Have a great